Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to Pathfinder Wrath of the Righteous. In the last episode we defended the defender's heart from a demon incursion, and hopefully when I go outside it's just gonna let me explore the rest of Kenabres that I haven't done yet. That's kind of the plan today. Anything new out here? Look like there's anything new out here. Oh, well, there's a dead demon. Ah, yes, this man.
Exciting.
Can I talk to you? They all died. My whole troop. Oh dear. Okay, well, let's just exit the area. There might be something here I'm supposed to do, but I'm sure it's fine. We all have a hearty meal, apparently. Fantastic. Right. So the real question is, where do we want to go? We've been to the Andre party house. My original plan was to go to the Tower of Estrod. But we could also go to the Blackwing Library. We'd go to the Hanged Cultist. Haven't been there yet. Let's go to the Hanged Cultist and then the Blackwing Library. That seems like it's a good way to go. Oh, can I evade the enemies? Hey! Thanks, Wolshiff. Evade again, I guess. If I don't have to fight people, I'd rather not. We got some reagents, some flour, a crooked paw, elemental essence, and meteor dust. Right, then let's go to the Blackwing Library. More enemies? Apparently there's a lot of enemies on the streets. Oh, a lost bag. Let's go to the lost bag first, shall we? Oh my god. Edible moss, butter, fairy mushroom, and a forked tongue. Alright, Blackwing Library. Let's enter. What are the odds this place is filled with demons? Uh-oh. There's definitely some people up there. Wait, that's a crusader? Oh, some crusaders up there. That's not so bad. The great library of Kenabres has been ravaged and wrecked in the most barbaric way. It seems that someone took perverse pleasure in smashing lamps and furniture and tearing pages out of books. Oh? Hello? It's a griffin. Oh. Hi? Griffin just came out of a statue. Is that a griffin? I thought they were long extinct in these parts. Was that a display in honor of my visit? I'm flattered. Yes, Arian, that's exactly what that was. That's a lot of reading for not a lot of supposed importance here. Oh, this one is gold though. I actually have to read it to get the benefit of it? Or do I just have to pick it up? I think I just have to pick it up. Yes, I don't know what it's given me though. I just know that that golden circle means that it's given me some sort of... Ah, you've learned something new from this book. There we go. Nothing in these books. There's a pedestal over here that has a scroll of reduced person, coal, magical padded armor. What is that? Padded armor of focus. This padded armor grants the wearer a +2 bonus on concentration checks. Do we have anyone who could use it? That's the question. It requires... nothing? I guess it requires light armor. Does that mean Camellia can wear it? Even though she already has a hide armor +1. It had a lower base class. Can I give it to Wolshiff? No. I could give it to Darren, I guess. It's technically, I don't think it's as good as that, but I feel that concentration check. I'm pretty sure that's when they are concentrating on casting a spell. Cast a spell, you must concentrate. Receiving damage or becoming a target to some spell effects like Entangle can interrupt your concentration while you're casting. And you must take a concentration check. Yeah, I think that makes sense. My healer being able to... I don't know if it works against 4 miracles, but I guess we'll find out. Right then, let's see what's going on up here, shall we?
Might be trap, might be treasure.
Hello. Scroll of enlarged person, a comma, gold coins, and some meteor dust. There's a man on fire. Should we help them? A stocky knight with a head of messy black hair stands before you. His armor is splattered with blood. He greets you in a deep, booming voice. The hefty crusader smiles merrily, paying no heed to the blood-curdling shrieks coming from the pyre. While you were wandering around besieged Kenabres, the demons managed to take the initiative and inflict serious damage on the city's defenders. And the acrid smell of burning flesh. They burn well enough, don't they? Cursed traitors. Arlo's minions. These vermin infiltrated the Crusaders' forces and aided the demons from inside the city. But I caught them. I am Captain Caleb Sazomal, and these men are my subordinates. A strange feeling rises up within you. It is pure instinct. You don't know what you're about to do, but you are certain that it is right. Okay, so we have a couple of checks we can do here. Let's do a lore check. Let's examine the Crusader's armor and the symbols upon it. We failed. After carefully studying the Crusader's armor, you can say with certainty that they aren't fakes. These men are real Crusaders. Can we pass a perception check? We did. Caleb is talking too loudly, all while casting sidelong looks at you. You've seen similar behavioural quirks before, in liars. Oh. I have a chaotic option here which requires the trickster mystic path. Give in to the strange instinct. Put out those flames. I order you in the name of Baphomet. What is this music? The words fly out of your mouth before you can even think them. Some gut instinct told you that this is precisely what needs to be said in this moment, and the words hit their target. The Crusaders jump in surprise and look at each other in terror. The corners of Darren's mouth are twitching, like he's struggling with all his might not to burst out laughing. Woolshift glares menacingly at Caleb. Didn't you know, mortal? We're everywhere. Mom, we didn't know you were one of us. You heard her. Put the flames out. Cuffing his lackeys round the head, Caleb herds them straight toward the fire. All three of them start trying to fight the flames, showing no concern for their own safety. An inexplicable feeling of rightness flows through you. You enjoy seeing the look of oafish terror on the faces of the Crusader and his lackeys when you rebuke them for their fecklessness. What? These options, you blithering idiots, you cack-handed dimwits, you empty suits of armor. Quickly, you worms, if you keep dawdling, I'll throw you into the furnace of the Grey Garrison. Whoever doesn't pull his weight is a dead man, and I'll take the other two in Baphomet's forces. Let's go with this one, you blithering idiots. You watch in satisfaction as Caleb and his two lackeys rush to put out the alchemist's fire. Their armor becomes covered in soot and welts rise on their skin from the flames. Succumbing to another strange, autorical impulse, you chivvy them along with barked orders and florid invective. Alright, let's just say quickly, you worms. If you keep dawdling, I'll throw you into the furnace. Caleb grunts in wordless terror and desperately fights the flames. Every so often, he sends murderous looks at his associates, whom he has clearly already condemned to death. Why don't we do the final one? I'll take the other two in Baphomet's forces. Wow. With a wary look in your direction, Caleb abandons his own attempts to quell the flames and turns his focus to thumping and kicking his subordinates to hurry them along. The method proves surprisingly effective, and the flames begin to dwindle. Oh wait, can I listen to my gut? This seems way more fun. As much as I want to call him Foul Snout. I'm going to do Foul Snout. Hopefully this stays here. Caleb is a crusader name. Are you a crusader? I hereby give you a name worthy of a demon. Foul Snout. Biting his lip, the bold cultist proudly thrusts out his chest. Thank you, madam. Foul Snout furrows his brow in a display of menace, trying to show his brutal determination to take on all crusader forces put together. Right, can you report? Who are you? The crusader's eyes bulge in fear as he barks out, Caleb Sazomal, former knight of the Order of Everbright Crusaders, deserter. These two are my mates from playing cards, local fences for stolen goods. Reliable men. We set an ambush and caught 4 crusaders. We wish to join the ranks of the triumphant army of the World Wound. Good lads. Brave fighters. We could do with more like you in the cultist ranks, then our victory would be assured. Thank you. I do my best. Caleb watches Lan with rapt attention, his eyes lingering on Lan's horn. Oh, well, let's listen to our gut, because we're not going to do the evil thing here. Stop wasting valuable fuel. If you like burning books, go rig the Grey Garrison Library. Our enemies might try to sneak in there. Step to it. Darren looks at you with amused curiosity and speaks in a soft voice. I do enjoy your sense of humour. It's quite fiery. Oh god, I could blow him a kiss. Mind the fire or you'll get burned. No thank you. Ha! It's going to be more fun later on, you'll see. So you want to turn the world upside down and make the Crusades into something else instead of deadly boring and painfully pretentious? Arian gives you an incredulous smile. You are insane. I like that. You can count on my help. At least for the next day or two before I get bored with this folly. There's plenty more where that came from, man. I'll do everything you've ordered, and just as soon as those Crusaders arrive, they'll be dead meat. I'll go make sure that we get make it another 2 barrels of alchemist's fire from the Grey Garrison storeroom. Things are going to burn right up in there. Thanks, lads. Good job. So, who are you? Because you just survived being set on fire, which is quite impressive. Oh, you're the Storyteller. A blind elf stands before you. He looks extremely strange. His face wears its years heavily, which is unusual for members of his race. Thinning grey hair, a ragged beard, sightless, milky eyes, pale, papery skin covered in age spots, a spine curved by the passage of time. This is not how elves typically age. The youth that graces the faces of elves even on their deathbed has totally abandoned this decrepit specimen. That is an elf. With a beard. I guess the worst can be found even amongst the best. The old elf holds out his hand in your direction in the perennial gesture of the blind. Greeting you with an unexpectedly strong and calm voice. Hello, I am Storyteller, and I wish to thank my rescuers. That is you, if I am not mistaken. What do we know about the Storyteller? The Storyteller is a mysterious elf traveller who arrived in Kenabres shortly before Discari attacked. The strangest part about him is not his blindness, but the fact that he looks ancient, even though old age typically does not affect the appearance of elves. This enigmatic figure harbours many secrets. Storyteller? Ha! That's the first I've ever heard of a venerable old-timer like that having a street name. Let's start at the top. Who are you? The old elf frowns. I prefer people to call me Storyteller. It very accurately describes the sphere of my occupations and interests. In most of the places I have been, I am known by that name. You've piqued my curiosity. A storyteller. Are you a bard? If so, you should come perform at one of my parties instead of knocking about in this dusty library. A bard? In some sense, yes. But not the type of bard that performs at festivities. I think your guests would lose their appetite after hearing my tales. What a shame. And I was so hoping to wheel you out for my guests. With your unusual appearance, you would have caused quite the scandal. But lugubrious bards are of no use to me. Half the bards in the city are the same. Their repertoire is confined to the one about longing, the one that causes indigestion, and the one that's a complete waste of time. I mean, really, how is one supposed to host a party with that? Well, let's ask him how come he didn't burn in the fire. To tell the truth, I myself do not know. I felt the heat. It was so strong. I waited for the pain, the burning, but I was unscathed. But the smoke nearly did finish me off. It may be some form of magical protection against fire, but I don't know by what means I may have acquired it. Just another oddity for my collection of the inexplicable. Gloom steals across the storyteller's pensive face. There was a griffin statue here. It suddenly came to life and flew away. Do you know anything about it? The griffin stood in this library for decades, but only today did he take flight. Why? I do not know, but I am glad his ancient slumber came to an end. The elf smiles at his thoughts. He has a long story behind him, and yet the real tale is only just beginning today. No, I will not reveal his secrets. I think your paths will cross again, so you can ask him yourself. I want to talk to you about something. The old elf responds with dignity and courtesy, but firmly. In thanks for my rescue, I of course will render you a service in turn, whatever it may be. However, at this moment, I wish to be somewhere safer than the present surroundings. My recent adventures have fatigued me greatly. I would be grateful if you could help me find safe shelter of some kind. The stubborn set of the elf's mouth tells you that he won't change his mind. Typical. You do someone a good turn, and instead of saying thank you, they just ask for more help. Go easy on the old elf. He's had a rough go of it. Yeah, because we've had it so easy. We can't not help him. If it was up to me, Grandfather Elf, I'd throw you over my shoulder and carry you out of here. This is no place for old folks. Alright, let's take him to the Defender's Heart. Please accept my sincere thanks once again, and if I may, please don't rush. I will struggle to keep up with your young legs. Yeah, sure. Wonder if we can talk to him more at the Defender's Heart. Is he in here? Oh, he's sitting next to Darren. Wow, I didn't expect that. There we go. The blind elf looks better than he did in your last encounter. His clothes are clean and his pale face has some colour. The elf turns to you and listens closely. Is that you, my saviour? I recognised your footsteps. Determined footsteps befitting a determined person. Allow me to thank you again for saving me. Please accept this humble gift as a token of my appreciation. The elf hands you a small black ring with 2 scarlet runes on it. Storyteller's ring. Irabeth has explained why you were looking for me. I warned the authorities of Kenabres that the local Wardstone had been desecrated. They waved off my warning and paid for their inaction. I have examined many Wardstones, but only in the one guarding Kenabres did I sense a flaw, a spot of corruption inside, a vulnerability the demons will surely use. They are able to spread the blight inside the Wardstone, corrupt it, and make it their weapon. It frightens me to think what it will be capable of. The Wardstone must be destroyed. That seems like a bizarre... Did we not cleanse the Wardstone? Why would we destroy it? Who are you, and why did they let you examine the Wardstone? The elf smiles faintly. I am the Storyteller. Just an old elf, and a bit more. I am old even for an elf. I've seen many things and have been to many places. Not so long ago, I witnessed the making of a young kingdom in the Stolen Lands, led by a remarkable and promising individual. My advice on the complicated matter of conquering those lands proved useful to that leader. Stolen Lands? The Stolen Lands are an almost wholly unsettled region in the northeastern section of the River Kingdoms, bordering the nation of Brevoy and serving as a buffer between Brevoy and the River Kingdoms. Traditionally the haunt of bandits and monstrous humanoids, the Stolen Lands are regarded as stolen by all nations along their border, even though none have ever been able to keep these realms under their control for long. Is this a reference to the first Pathfinder game or something? This is not uncommon for me. Some seek my advice or services, and I don't refuse. This is how I acquired my reputation as an old vagrant who's never hurt anyone, stayed out of others' squabbles, but sometimes gave good advice. I had a few friends in Neo-Cyan who vouched for my integrity. This is why my humble request to be allowed to see the Wardstones was granted. I visited all of them, but only found cause for alarm in Kenabres. Do you wield some magical power? Some instinct? The Storyteller chuckles. Yes, to a certain extent, but it is more of a gift. I can see the past, stories that have happened. I touch an object and shreds of its owner's memories are revealed to my mind, their emotions, passions, and tragedies. I see visions like I am them, and their stories happened to me. This is my power. I've been roaming the world gathering such stories for many thousands of years. One day, I will gather them all. What blight is concealed in the Wardstone? I'm afraid I don't have the answer to your question. To understand the nature of this blight, we need to understand how the Wardstone was created, and it is hidden from me. I can only guess. Have you heard of the Red Morning Massacre? That's when the demons invaded and threw bodies at the Wardstone, right? I think we've read about this before. A dreadful morning remembered with fear even by those not yet born at the time. A demoness called Minago invaded the city with a crowd of her followers and started to do what demons do best: kill and desecrate. They say they covered the Wardstone with pieces of dead bodies, splashed it with blood from top to bottom. Could such an abomination darken the radiance of the gift of Imade herself? The locals think it's impossible. Who knows? It was not the last attack. Many demon leaders brought their unholy forces here, even the terrifying Bolor... Oh, hello. Koramzadeh. Who are you? One of Discari's most powerful generals. I feel like we've read about him before as well. But his personal might is not the only reason why he poses such a threat in combat. They call him the World Wound Strategist, for he is the shrewdest general among demonkind. Not too long ago, he oversaw one of the most successful assaults on Kenabres and nearly destroyed the Wardstone, an achievement that only Lord Discari himself was able to claim in the end. Interesting. Their attacks were rebuffed, but they still reached their target. I think this is when the seed of corruption was planted in the stone. It wouldn't have grown on its own, but Discari himself has now come to take advantage of this weakness, to open the abscess that has been festering for years, unnoticed by the people of Kenabres. When the demon lord struck the blow and weakened stone gave in, now it's in demon hands, and nothing is stopping them from spreading the blight throughout the entire stone, and from it to the other stones along the whole perimeter of the world wound. Well, that's problematic. Why did you travel to the Wardstones? I tried to see their stories. The visions I had when I touched the Wardstones were unclear. I saw hundreds, maybe thousands of different stories at the same time. They followed each other like flashes of lightning. It was impossible to separate them. I couldn't understand where one of them ended and the next began. Interesting. In that case, you must make every possible effort to destroy the corruption. Unfortunately, I don't know where to get an instrument powerful enough to banish it from the Wardstone. As far as I know, there is nothing like it in Kenabres, but the demons might have something. I heard the dying roar of Terendelev, the Silver Dragon, the protector of the city. At the same time, I felt a wave of unfamiliar power sweep over me from head to toe. I would advise you go to where Terendelev perished and search there for something. I'm sorry I can't be more specific, but intuition and a strange sense of rightness tell me to point you there. The purple stone knife we found. I found it in the square where Terendelev perished. What do you make of it? Storyteller reaches out and says softly, "Even from here I can feel strange energies emanating from the object. If you don't mind, I will examine it, using my method. I will try to see the past of its owner, their emotions and shreds of their memories. Maybe it'll help us better understand what we are dealing with." The storyteller touches the knife, his fingers clamping around the hilt with a hungry, masterful grip. His face contorts into an evil grimace, his voice disgustingly raspy. "Hunger. My many legs bring me into the lair, to my mother's feasting hall. Her swollen body, overfilled with food, is so huge that I have to look at it with all of my eyes at once. On top is her scrawny little head with a long beak that is always yearning for more food." You feel feverish, and your chest, where the mysterious wound is concealed, feels hot. Your mind is flooded with a wave of visions that repeat the words of the old elf. Mother greets me with a placid screech. Stupid, greedy wretch, whose only achievement is my birth. A creeping, wingless creature. It's your fault I have no wings, a symbol of greatness, a birthright I should have received from my mighty father. Mother points me to a crowd of whimpering subjects, suggesting I fortify myself with their pathetic flesh. Not today. I summon my spawn, and they fly to me, enveloping me in a teeming cloud. Like dark, buzzing wings, they unfold behind my back and lift me up. Mother has always been stronger, but she did not expect this. I dive on her and rip her limp, bloated body with my claws. Ichor splatters the bone spurs on my heels, sink into her flesh. I clench her pitiful, tiny head and tear it off along with the shreds of meat. Victory! I am the strongest. I am the son of my winged father. The elf grimaces with distaste. His voice becomes normal again. Appalling. Stories like that are the most difficult ones to keep with me. Huh. Did this knife belong to a demon? The storyteller opens his mouth to answer, but a sudden spasm crosses his face. A new vision, a much stronger one, engulfs the old elf. The malevolent undertones vanish from his voice as it grows more determined and tired. Even looking at the Wardstone is difficult. Despite the corruption nesting in it, it still has an aura of strength. Your fingers clench the stone hilt so tight it hurts. A little spot on the flawless surface of the Wardstone draws your attention. It looks like a butterfly. Corruption in the guise of something utterly harmless. But it will grow. You swing and stab the butterfly with the knife as hard as you can. Your fingers cramp painfully. A howl invades your ears. Light, white light, everywhere. The stone knife falls from the old elf's hand. Out of breath, he drops to his knees. He is trembling, the terror on his face so unlike his usual dignified manner. What was that? That was not the past. That was something that is yet to happen. Or rather, might happen. One of the roads to the future. In one of the possible futures, this item will help you to cleanse the Wardstone. Or to destroy it. You feel a longing to take the stone chisel and plunge it into your chest, right into the wound that has opened up in it. It is hard to resist this feeling, but at the last moment your self-preservation instincts take over, and you manage to keep control of your own hands. The old man stands up. He looks completely stunned. Never before has anything like this happened to me. But how? I'm not an oracle or a prophet. Or is this another riddle from the past that has caught up with me? I must find out. Seeing stories that have happened is one thing, but seeing stories that are yet to happen. I don't know why this is happening now, but that is one thing I am sure of. This is not a coincidence. This is a sign of coming changes. Great changes. I shared your vision, and this knife tempted me. Did you see what I saw? This has never happened before. Could it be the magic of the object that you brought me? I sense dark energies in it that can cloud and charm the mind. Be careful with this item. It may have tried to influence you, but you managed to overcome its power and subdue it. Or perhaps something else happened to us, something we don't yet understand. Can you see the future? I don't know. Obviously I can, but nothing like this has ever happened to me before. The future never opened its secrets to me before I met you. Gods, who are you? And why have our paths crossed? I feel this is not a coincidence. Something momentous is happening. Destiny is pushing us towards something. But what? Questions without answers. I swear, this morning I couldn't have imagined what awaited me. Maybe it's the knife that gives you the power of divination? This knife is a powerful artifact, but I feel that its power is of a different nature. No, I felt the same as I do when I tell the past. This is my gift, but manifested in a completely abnormal way. Is what you saw destined to happen? No, the future is not set. It used to be, a long time ago when the god Eroden guarded Galarian, but not now. Prophecies do not come true, or they do, but not the way that they were supposed to. I only saw one version of the future, one of the paths leading to it. But the choice has not been made, and our destinies are not set in stone. Who were you in your vision? I don't know. Someone strong and desperate enough to resort to extreme measures. I felt that what I was doing had to be done. Your powers are amazing. A few minutes ago I would have agreed with you. But the thing that has just happened, it disturbs me. My gift has never manifested like this. Something has changed, and these changes frighten me. Remind me, why is it so important to cleanse the Wardstone of corruption? Okay, now we've already had that one. Please examine the items I'm carrying. Perhaps some of them could tell a story. The storyteller nods politely. Let me touch them and I'll tell you what I see. The old elf carefully takes Yaniel's sword. Radiance. Powerful forces lie dormant in this sword. It used to belong to an incredibly bright and daring soul. The storyteller's hand runs carefully over the scale that has not lost its shine. Proud Terendelev, protector of Kenabres, you devoted your life to serving people. Your death is a great loss. Maybe I will be able to find out something about you that is unknown to your many admirers. The storyteller's hand touches Finian. What a peculiar weapon. I sense intelligence in it, but it seems dented. Nah, Grandpa Elf. Watch where you're poking your fingers. It tickles. Storyteller fiddles with a fragment of a gold buckle. Good thing. Created long ago by divine will, but the power that gave birth to it is lost in darkness. However, the relic still lives on, though it has changed. I wonder what secret it is hiding. Would you like to know it? Bring me 5 vials of magical essence, and I will revive this object, and with it, its story. What gold buckle? Did I pick up a gold buckle at some point? I don't think I have the necessary materials, right? That's why it's red. Yeah, okay. We've already done the stone knife, haven't we? Yeah, we have. Thank you for the story. Okay. Let's present Radiance. What do you see in its past? The storyteller touches the blade with his fingers. Sadness rings in his voice. Dresden is doomed. Demons attacked right when we lost the protection of the Sword of Valor. My city, my bastion of hope. We built you as a symbol that the lands mutilated by the Abyss could still be restored to mortals. But you are perishing, and there is nothing I can do. We retreat. No, we flee. A frightened crowd rushes out into the night through the southern gate. They are chased by the angry howls of demons killing the last defenders of the citadel. My heart goes out to them, but I am standing still on the wall. I am covering the retreat. Demons do not attack. They seethe around you, fall from the sky, strike from all sides at once. They can't be stopped, but they can be distracted. I run to the upper floor of the gate tower. Radiance glows with a golden light in my hands. I permit myself to close my eyes for just one heartbeat. I imagine that the soft glimmering of the sword I see through my closed eyelids is the light of the summer sun. I smile. I open my eyes and call out, "Hey, Discali Spawn, who wants the best trophy of the night?" You know my name, Yaniel. You know how many of you I have killed with this very hand. You want to curry favour with Darazand, Menago, or the echo of your lord? Bring them my head, if you can. Roaring and screaming, they rush towards me in a wave of deformed bodies with unfurled wings. The wave crashes against me, spattering my armour with bloody froth. Broken wings and chopped up bodies plummet to the foot of the tower. In the heat of battle, I see Jordan's pale face down there. He looks up at me in desperation, but he can't help. He's carrying 2 wounded on his shoulders. My city will fall, but my friends will survive. This is what I am fighting for. I'm covering the retreat. Joran Vale? Ah, that's the vendor outside in the blacksmith. The flow of fleeing people gradually dwindles. My armour is broken in many places, and I cannot heal my wounds anymore. The last demon I stabbed with radiance suddenly recoils, tearing the handle out of my blood-slickened hand. He flies up, but falls somewhere far behind the walls, by the road being taken by the fleeing. No more golden glow in my hands. The night closes in on me, filled with shrieking, mocking demon laughter. Dresden, I'm dying with you. Light of the sword, righteous Imode, accept my soul. Storyteller runs his hand along the blade with a sad smile. I know whose memory this is. I've heard about her so many times. Yaniel was a true crusader. Touching her memories is so cleansing. You see a future of this sword? Just one of numerous possibilities. The blind elf touches the sword hilt and metal rings in his voice. I slide out of the sheath swiftly. I proudly watch the army of warriors led by my lady. I sing, slashing the air, putting courage in their hearts. I am radiance. Tremble, city of Dresden. My lady Yaniel has perished, but I am not done yet. Charge. It's nice to know that this sword's glory days are not over. It has many battles ahead. Take care of it. It was a glorious sword. Let's show Terendalev's scale to the storyteller. Tell me about her. Storyteller takes a deep breath and smiles. I am flying. I can finally spread my wings. I am gliding over a broad river. The sunset has turned its surface smooth like a mirror, and I see my reflection. It is as if another silver dragon is rising to meet me from the depths. What is it? The scales on my chest are black, and the darkness is spreading over my body. I wake up. A clear sky sways above me, blazing with heat. I am in human form. The red dust of the wound clings to my cracked lips. Someone is carrying me on a stretcher made of shields and spears. I am so weak I can barely lift my hand to my face. The sight of my own hand terrifies me. It is black and the skin glistens like scales melted by fire. I am probably ought to cry, but I only feel hatred and nausea. All these people around me, out of sympathy for them did I choose to leave the mountains. I gave up my flights over rivers. I went to the demon's lair. They don't have a scratch on them, but I am infected with foulness. Not fair. My life is more precious than their pathetic existence. Oh, how I hate them in this moment. And then I suddenly feel shame. No, these are not my thoughts. The crusaders carrying me are my good friends. I'm glad they did not suffer. But I hate them and myself so much. Pain and hatred pierce me all at once. It's all because of them, all because of them. Someone walking beside me touches me, talks to me, but the only thing I hear is, "Your mentor will come. He will help." And I lose consciousness. The storyteller takes a deep breath, exiting the vision. Such hatred from Terendelev. Isn't she on our side? Terendelev has come a long way. Her unit was ambushed by demons once, and she was infected with foulness. The Terendelev you met in Kenabres had gone through many trials and regained her former purity. And what happened next? Storyteller puts his hand to his forehead. Sometimes the past can be as vague as the future. We all know how Terendelev's stories ended. The beginning is hidden from us. Maybe if you find something else that used to belong to her, we will know more about her struggle. Okay. Find something that once belonged to Terendelev. And finally, let's show him Finian. Hello, Grandpa Elf. The storyteller carefully takes Finian from your hands. Hello, Finian. He closes his eyes and takes a deep breath. His face contorts into a painful grimace. I'm coming to again. How long have I been here? They kept me in a cage for 3 days. I know this because 3 times the light under the door disappeared for a long time. Then they chained me to the table, and the bladesmith, everyone calls him the bladesmith, he placed a device with a jar over me. It feels like I'm being fried. At first I tried to break free, but I got tired. Then I screamed, and now I've lost my voice. But the pain is burning right through me. The storyteller stops. His voice changes, becoming more frightened. I think I lost consciousness again. But when I woke up, the pain was gone. And I wasn't tied to the table anymore. I was standing near it, and someone else was lying on the table. A burned corpse covered with a black crust. The master took out a handsaw and is sawing off his head in a very focused way. I should have run back then, but I couldn't for some reason. This burned corpse had a symbol on his belt, just like I do. An eye for a star. My favourite belt. A good one. Why would a stranger get one? It must have been someone from my clan, some distant family member. The storyteller stops. When he speaks again, you hear only a muffled whisper. Those crusaders. I was glad when I saw them. I thought they'd come to help, but how? How was it that I killed them all? Someone told me to, and I obeyed. I don't understand. I understand nothing now. I need to catch my breath. I need all this to stop, even just for a minute. I just have to. I have to understand what's happening to me. Just need to rest. The storyteller shakes his head, slowly coming to his senses. That's Finian's past, but what awaits in his future? The dead have no future, but the storyteller smiles. I see an endless ocean on a good day, and a boat flying over the waves. I am so excited, but I don't know whose vision this is. Is this a soul existing here and now? Or a soul reborn? Well, thank you for your story. The storyteller gives Finian back to you. Please take care of this young lad. He is finally in the right hands. Do not worsen his suffering by involving him in dishonourable deeds. Come on, Grandpa Elf. I can take care of myself. I'm not a kid. I don't know what horrors you were talking about, but don't worry about it, alright? Look after yourself. I'm curious about this broken bottle. Buckle. Don't have the necessary materials, though. Can I help you? The storyteller nods gratefully. I appreciate your offer. I have reason to believe that somewhere in Kenabres there is a manuscript authored by an elf of Kinnonin who witnessed Earthfall. The storyteller's voice suddenly breaks and he stops for a moment. For personal reasons, I would like to examine it, but no matter how hard I try, I have failed to find it. Even in the Blackwing Library, I only found a mention that a manuscript exists and is held somewhere in the city. What is Earthfall? Earthfall is the name given to the cataclysmic event in which a shower of meteorites impacted Galarian. That's probably all we need to know about that. Okay. I assume it's stored at the Grey Garrison. It wouldn't let me into the archive when I visited. All those crusaders were nervous about the strange blind elf interested in their secrets. Understandable. The crusade naturally made them a little paranoid. Now the Grey Garrison has fallen into the enemy's hands, I would be grateful if I could see the manuscript. Can I find out more about him? Ooh, there's a lot to do here. I think I'll talk to the storyteller more next time I come here, because I do fear that this is where I shall end this episode. I did not expect the entire episode to be talking to the storyteller. But it was interesting. We found some stories and stuff. What? I have a buckle in my inventory? I am genuinely... Is it this? Ah, piece of a holy symbol. I see. Interesting. But either way, thank you all so much for watching. Please like, subscribe. Let me know what you think. Your comments are greatly appreciated. Thank you again to the members of the channel and the coffee supporters. It really does mean the world to me. And help me keep making these videos. And as always, we'll see you next time.